Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is the how to set up, play and review video for the Ghost in the Attic. Now I have already done the how to set up and play pretty much, to be honest, including some of that playthrough in the unboxing, teaser, trailer, preview video. So I won't really talk about much about that. This particular one though is more about the review. So in some respects this is one of my favourites because it is the most thematic. However, equally in some bizarre ways, it's the least difficult, it's the quickest, and I managed to play this completely fine, okay solo. I didn't need to use any of the answers, so that was really good in some respects. Sometimes a game that I find an easiest game I actually give the lowest rating to. Sometimes the games I find the easiest I give the highest rating to, because if it's too hard to do, you don't get enjoyment. But sometimes if it's too hard to do, you really enjoy it. And for example, my favourite version of the Exit is a good example of that. So there are 13 riddles in this one, I've counted. There's 24 unused components, which is annoying when sometimes you see stuff and like, oh, you don't really do anything with it. You don't need, like I said, I didn't need any answers from the hints, which is good. This is the fourth one I've played, and for that reason, I think maybe I actually preferred it because I started getting the rhythm of it too. There's also the Oracle which you can play, which combine the first three games, this one, Balthar Stone, and the other one, which came out before, the Vanishing Gambler, which is quite cool, and I very much enjoyed that. It's a bit tougher than this one though, but in the Ghost in the Attic, if I just briefly open up, as you may recall, you have this chain which you need to get into. You might have seen me how I'll get into this in that last video. And whilst I managed to get into it without needing other hints, it's just from something on here that I discovered. I thought, oh, let's try that out. In some respects, that's a bad thing because I didn't need to use anything else. It should really have been do this and maybe -2 from the results. Therefore, you're getting that interaction from that digital medium. Medium, pardon the pun, of course, with the word ghost. So very good. Again, great components. I like the story. I like the spookiness of it. I think it's really strong from that perspective. But my rating is a 7, like I said, because I felt sometimes there are some bits whereby you can do one thing and you do something else. And why would you need to do X, Y, Z with this particular thing? It doesn't make sense. Very much in the Vanishing Gambler kind of arc. But I'm torn. Like I said, 7 out of 10 is lower than for a couple of the other ones. I might up my rating on this one, or at least bring the other two down, or bring them on a par. But it's not the worst one in the series, so you might want to check this one out. Like I said, thematically, it's really strong. I like the puzzles. They weren't too easy, but at the same time, I managed to do them, which makes, you know, not too much of a leap of faith. Again, I played it solo and enjoyed it, and only took about 2 hours 10, which is really good, compared to the 5.5 hours it took for a different one. So maybe you want to check this out. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for that full ranking video I'll do as well at some point. Check out my mystery agency style kind of playlist. Basically Google AmassGames Escape, and it's basically all about escape in the box games, over 50 games in that list. Also my cooperative playlist, check out that too. Also the how to set up, play and review video where you'll find this as well. Thanks very much for watching. Any questions, as always, let me know. The comments are best in YouTube, as this does get shared. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And of course, follow along over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, the podcast, and of course, supporting via Patreon too. But for now, back to the table.